What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with some Destiny 2 news and updates. And so in this one, we'll take a quick look at the updated Riven's Wish objectives coming down the road. We'll also talk about upcoming reveals and new content, as well as updates that Bungie have planned for the future. Plus we'll touch on a secret mission this season, some new emblems in the game that we're able to pick up, plus a new bundle that gets all of the expansions for Destiny 2 at a significantly reduced cost. Plus there are a few other items to round up in the video today guys. So as always, I hope you enjoy this one, and if you do, a rating below very much helps us out on the channel. But without further delay, let's get into it. And up first today, we get a few clarifications from Bungie, some of them related to the announcements they made last week in the TWID. So the Destiny 2 team said a couple of quick corrections from the TWID. And on March 5th, we'll reset the armor synthesis bounties cap to 10, not 8 as originally posted. And on top of that, they say they also fixed the typo where Warden's Law was listed as a strand weapon instead of kinetic. I have to say I hadn't even noticed that, but just a couple of little items there to keep in mind. And additionally, somebody asked if there is any chance we could get an update on what the PvP strike team has planned, as they've been quiet for some time. And the team responded that they'll have an update from the PvP devs in a few weeks talking about some of the changes they have planned. I believe we're actually due to see some sandbox tuning at some point this season, kind of like a mid-season sandbox update. And that's on top of the fact that we are getting the PvP map pack, which I think is now coming in May. So there are updates on the horizon, but precisely when we'll get them is something we'll have to hold out for a little longer until Bungie give us some more updates. Another thing here though, of course we spoke about the Risen emblem that Bungie produced to celebrate Lunar New Year in Destiny 2. Originally that was tied to a sort of exclusive platform thing with Bilibili. It made it very difficult to actually unlock the emblem, but it's now available for all players, and we can see the code on screen right there. So if you haven't picked it up just yet, you can head to the Bungie Redeem page, throw the code in, and it will unlock the emblem in game. So I'll link that Redeem page down below. It's certainly a cool emblem, and I suppose it's one that we'll see a lot more players using now that it's become available for everyone. Next up though, in relation to Riven's wishes, players were asking whether the wish tokens carry over, and the D2 team said simply that all of Riven's Wish weekly quests will carry over and remain active up until the final shape launches. You can do them each week, or wait until they're all active and knock them all out at once. But essentially the only concern is to finish them before June 4th. After that point in time, they will no longer be available. Of course, the helm will probably get a rework as well, so Mara Self won't even be there most likely, which will also render the wish tokens useless. So just as Bungie said, finish them before June 4th, and otherwise there is absolutely no rush to get them completed. And of course, following the update this week, Bungie said they adjusted the requirements for Riven's Wishes. I had actually made a guide ahead of time for Riven's Wishes 3, which before the update, in the database at least, listed 1600 targets being required. But we can see how Bungie have updated that, and that was reduced to 500. So that's less than a third of what was originally listed, and that's why the quest went much faster than anticipated this week. But they also adjusted future quests like Riven's Wishes 4, where the target requirement was reduced to 900, and that was originally well over 1,000 as well. And we can see for the 5th quest, Bungie reduced the taken bosses required from 80 to 60, and otherwise they sort of updated descriptions and things like that for the upcoming quests. So give us your thoughts on those. They were never particularly difficult to do, more of a grind really, but following the update they are certainly less of a grind than they were gonna be. In other news though, we got the BioWare collection this week, and Bungie Help did say initially we're investigating issues where the collection armor sets are showing an already purchased on account error for some players on the seasonal offerings Eververse page, but they do say the armor sets can still be purchased on the main featured page while we investigate the issue. On top of that, from the press kit, there is actually a Mass Effect collaboration emblem, which we have an image for right here. At the moment, we don't know how this can actually be picked up in the game, so I'll have to keep you posted, but it's obviously something that we will get access to in the near future. As always though, Bungie shared a little trailer for the N7 collection if you want to check it out right here. So pretty cool. I did actually find the elevator bit at the end sort of amusing. But another mention right here, and Humble Bundle said, get caught up on Destiny 2 in one epic bundle reaching all the way back to the Forsaken pack. You'll have everything you need to get your light level up ahead of the final Shapes release on June 4th, and the purchase supports Bungie Love. And this new bundle, as we can see, includes 30th Anniversary, Witch Queen, Lightfall, Beyond Light, and the Forsaken pack. And that bundle actually costs $40. So for all of those expansions, that is a very significant reduction. And perhaps for any folks who needed to pick up older expansions or are interested in that, it's probably going to be one of the best opportunities to grab all of that content. So I'll link that in the description box below as well. Up next though, related to seasonal content, since we're talking about some updates that are coming a bit further down the road, it's worth highlighting that there will be a final mission for Season of the Wish. And so a mild spoiler alert is worth mentioning here, but there's a triumph in the game for later on in the season, as well as a mission listed in the database called Closer to the Heart. And so while we've had this sort of initial season finale or the story completion, there will be a more definitive finale, and as that title suggests, we'll be getting closer to the heart, and I'm assuming this is in reference to the Pale Heart, which is the destination in the final shape inside of the Traveler. So obviously the mission is going to act as a narrative stepping stone into the final shape, but given the extended season, Bungie have pushed this back a bit. We don't know when we'll get it, but it seems entirely possible that this could be in the final month or so before the final shape drops. So at the very latest, by the time we get to May, this mission should theoretically be available. A couple of other quick shouts to end the video here though, and Destiny Bulletin pointed out that it was 11 years ago this week that Bungie released the Alpha Loopy ARG, which led to the first official reveal trailer and Vidoc for Destiny, which they called Pathways Out of Darkness. And the ARG, which was sort of a community effort to unlock and sort of decode the meaning of it, lasted for 7 days, and upon completion, fans were rewarded with the Destiny wallpaper and an official Destiny soundtrack called 8th, as well as the reveal, and there were 7 different days of sort of steps that allowed the Bungie community to slowly sort of reveal Destiny in its original form. Pretty cool stuff. It's something I actually wasn't around for. I was probably playing Battlefield or Titanfall or something like that at the time, and it was sort of off my radar. But it was a cool event, and it's just crazy to think that that was 11 years ago. It's also interesting that this will be the 10-year anniversary of Destiny in 2024, so I'm curious to see if Bungie are going to mark that in any way. Of course, it would be at some point after the final shape, as the initial game release back in 2014 was in September. So maybe if we're lucky, we could see some kind of recognition of that 10-year anniversary in September of this year, but we'll simply have to wait and see. Another quick mention, something I'm not familiar with, but Destiny Bulletin also said that a new episode of Solar Opposites has a direct Destiny 2 reference. Of course, this is an animated series, but at the start they're referring to Destiny 2 with an endless amount of exotics and weekly raids, and they made reference to it either being your fire team or your family, which is pretty amusing, and it's a cool reference, especially for folks who have been watching that show. Again, it's something I haven't seen, but for any of you guys who know what it is, I thought it might be an interesting shout. And for today, guys, that is everything we have to speak about in the videos. So as always, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and if you have, a rating below very much helps us out. Also be sure to get subscribed, and I'll keep you posted with more Destiny content down the road. And give us any of your thoughts on the upcoming updates, Riven's wishes this week, and all that good stuff. But otherwise, thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.